So good evening. We are back again. Smash the likes. Make sure you do it now. Big up to Footy Judge Mo as well for the redirect. So make sure you are fully subscribing. I love Jez's link and Kenny's link in the pinned comment very shortly. But we are going to talk about all things football. Obviously, there's not been much of it. But Jez, happy Monday, mate. You still awake? You still awake after that, like, performance at the weekend?
Kenny, what have you done to me, man? Seriously, you know, that's the second time I've done an England watch along. Never, ever again. It was boring. It was just crap football against the Brazil C team, really, wasn't it? Let's be honest. I mean, it was not even the first start, dear, honestly. You know, I was doing the watch time with Anthony. Half the time we weren't even talking about the game. We were talking cooking and all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? It was rubbish. Sorry. Awful.
Yes, we are going to get into that in a second. But yeah, Kenny, you love a bit of international football. Even you can't big that one up, mate. How are you?
You know what? I think it reminded a lot of people why they have zero love for the national side and zero love for international football. That was so insipid. It was so bad. Ben Chilwell, his crossing, especially in the latter stages of the match, was so bad. You know, Brazil were virtually walking. Brazil won every second ball. The way they played as if it was a practice match, and Vinicius Jr was just roasting the English players. It was just unbelievable. This is not a good day for international football. There is no excuses. All Southgate has done is give Saka to the calls for him to be replaced. You know, it was really, really a bad day. And you know what? That was an opportunity for England to actually stop the noise regarding the badge, which I'm sure we're going to get into anyway. And they missed it. You know, it was not. You know, the build-up wasn't about football, and the game was just so forgettable. God help. You know what? God help England in the Euros this summer if they're going to play like that or just turn up, because as long as Southgate's in charge, you know what? It's not going to happen. It just isn't going to happen. You might as well just, prepare for your holidays by the last 16 quarterfinals. Nah, England ain't winning that at all.
Nah.
Trust the process, Kenny. It takes time. Rome wasn't built in a day. Stop being so toxic and negative.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. When Southgate goes, and if Man United are stupid enough to employ him, we're going to have the pleasure of Lee Carsley as England coach. They are going to promote him. I can tell you that's exactly what's going to happen. That's what, why do you think he turned down the Republic of Ireland job? He wouldn't turn down the Republic of Ireland job if a bigger job was on the horizon. Now, I don't see any big club jobs, happening in the Premiership or across Europe. So the next big gig for Carsley is England. He's what I mean? But what I'm trying to say is that Carsley has, gone through the same pathway as Gareth in terms of going through the junior teams and under 21s, and he has won an under 21 tournament. So that's only going to put more lead in his pencil when it comes to the application, or he's probably been told he's got a job.
Essentially, yeah, potentially. We'll come back to that. Hold that thought, Kenny. Listen, smash these likes up. There's 300 people in here. After this, we're redirecting to Saeed. I'm going live later as well, which is why this is slightly earlier, because this is how we're rolling these days. Sweden versus Albania, guys. I'm doing a watch along. Yeah, let's see if we can see the striker that we're linked to put in a better performance than the 0 out of 10 he dropped the other night against Portugal, despite nicking a goal from 1 centimetre out, tapping. Let's see if he can actually put a performance in tonight. So we're going to watch him versus Albania. But yeah, let's start with the flag. Let's start with the flag before we start with come to the performance, because I've seen 50-50. Obviously, I'm fuming. Yeah, but only you're fuming about anything. Yeah, listen, I'm born and bred English. It's a St. George's cross. It is white background, red cross, lads, not purple. And they thought they could sneak that onto a shirt, which I think costs 85 quid unless you want the authentic one that they wear on the pitch, which is 125 quid. I think the kids one's 65 quid. And Nike called it playful creativity, Jez. How many other countries might get away with changing their national badge?
I think it's an absolute disgrace. I think it's an insult to England as a nation to do that. You know, it's the St. George Cross, and I think it's a disgrace to put a flag on there which is clearly rainbow colours. Look, I'm not going to get into that debate, but at the end of the day, it's a football shirt, right? It's a football shirt with a St. George Cross on it, yeah? Not something made up by Nike, and it's an absolute disgrace. I personally felt insulted about that they've done that. And for people who think it's okay, good luck. Okay, that's your opinion. It ain't mine, because you can call me old school, you'll call me whatever you like. I don't want to see that on an England shirt. Sorry.
Yeah, when Gareth Southgate was pressed on it as well, he mumbled, bumbled, and stumbled his way through it. Because I don't know whether he was expecting that question, because normally these press conferences are premeditated. And he was stuttering his way all the way through it. And in the end, he kind of said, "Yeah, I think we should just leave that alone, really." But Kenny, what do you make of it, mate?
The thing is, at first, I was a bit taken aback, because everyone who is a massive lover of Premiership football, because let's face it, if you look at the makeup and the sort of demographics of England fans, most of the fans who follow England invariably are fans of the outside of Premiership. English fans, like for instance, whenever you see England away, you see Halifax Town, you see Doncaster, you see the Sheffield clubs, and all over, Exeter, Devon. So I can understand them getting very angry, but Premiership fans who hate international football have got involved. So I was astonished about it. One thing I would say, in terms of the argument, I do back everything you say. And the reason why I back everything you say, why is it that in England, right, they're the only country that compromises their flag? The Scots, they wouldn't do that in Scotland. They certainly wouldn't do that in Wales. In terms of
Welsh, well, trust me,
they wouldn't have done that with the sort of like Northern Ireland, like I said, fist. So why they do it in England? And I think that's why a lot of people are upset, is because of the fact that they have compromised the flag. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to football, rugby, and maybe the Commonwealth Games, there is no Britain involved. It's England. It's England, and because it's England, right, has to in my opinion, has to have their own kind of separate identity. So that thing at the back is very important. You know what I mean? And that's why when England are playing, they have to have the limelight. It has to be England. It isn't Great Britain. You shouldn't compromise the English flag, especially when it comes to sporting stuff. So my pick, that's why I fully get the anger, and I endorse it as well. It was wrong at all levels. But the day, money talks. And unfortunately, the FA need the money. So they'll go with anything and then take the backlash later. The sad thing about it is that after the backlash is over, people are going to be buying. People will buy the shirts, because that's what people do. Hey, sorry, someone's banging the door, so I'm going to
no worries, mate. Go on. Big up to everyone locked in, man. 350 in it. Get these likes up real quick, yeah. Get these likes up real quick. Big up to N17 Gunner. He said the flag was compromised before. The difference was the press didn't stir up a culture war. Do you know what it is? We've had this debate with the Arsenal badge before. Jez, that badge behind you has got Latin writing written underneath it, mate. And they changed it to make it more inclusive. This is what they're doing with the England flag. The difference is, as this N17 says, the media haven't really stirred up a war before about other flags. I think the problem is there was really no social media back then.
No.
Yeah. Now social media is massive. Everyone's got it pretty much. If you ain't got Twitter, you've got Facebook. If you ain't got Facebook, you've got Insta and so on. Even your gran's got Facebook. Do you know what I mean? Like, elderly people have Facebook these days. So I think, yeah, it has been compromised before, but when it comes down to badges, like the fact that we took the Latin off of our Arsenal badge was to be more inclusive. And I get it. I understand it. It's more marketable if you don't have certain things on there. Yeah, I get it. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to a national flag, I think they're taking the piss. I can't lie. Yeah, just leave it alone. Like I said to my missus, no, go on, mate.
Yeah, just answer the door because I locked someone out. So that was just completely cool.
Go on, carry on, Jenny. Go on.
What I would say about the whole situation, George's flag, is that in England we don't celebrate St George's Day because we tend to sort of like be more kind of like nationalistic when sporting occasions are involved. So that's when we make time to actually celebrate St George's, St George's flag. So when it comes to football, don't touch football. Don't touch rugby, don't touch any other sports. I'm all for inclusivity. That's very, very important. But you can be exclusive and not mess with the flag. By all means, if you want, maybe have a different colour kit, for occasion or to promote something. But on the back, the flag should never ever be compromised. I wouldn't want the Nigerian flag to be compromised. I wouldn't want the Ghanaian flag to be compromised. I wouldn't want the Irish flag to be compromised. Germany, I'm gonna have like a pink kit, but the German tricolour, that's not going to be compromised. So again, think before you do it, and remember one thing: when it comes to sporting events, especially when England involved and not Great Britain, leave it alone because that is the one time people in this country can celebrate their Englishness and leave the Britishness alone. You know what I mean? Don't assume that the England, just because a few idiots, have been running around the centre path and throwing their weight around and saying this and that, and they've got the St George's flag. It's not their flag. It's ours. It belongs to everyone. Everyone who's born in England, regardless what background you are, it's our flag. It belongs to all of us. And this is, so don't just use that excuse because a few idiots have, taken it and used it for their own causes and just say, oh, it doesn't matter. We see it as a bad thing. No, it's our flag. It's our national side. Leave it alone. I know you need the money, but by all means, do whatever you want on the front of the kit, but when it comes to the flag, come on, it's bad.
I think not only that, nobody asked for it. Nobody asked for it. If everyone was saying, "I'll give us a purple and red St George cross," then I think yeah, cool. Everyone's asked for it. Nobody bloody asked for it. Leave it alone. I said to my missus, I said, if they changed the colour of the Romanian badge, what would happen? She said, it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen, mate. Yeah, it just would not happen. Yeah, I spoke to my mate the other day as well. He's Albanian. He said, mate, trust me. It just wouldn't happen. Yeah, it would not happen. But before we get into talking about the game, listen, smash these likes up. Big up to everyone locked in as well. Big up to Rahul as well. Have you just seen Vinny Jr. break down during a press conference just live now? Opinion on racism in La Liga. Love your opinion on the channel, by the way. Bro, that guy gets absolutely pelted with it every single weekend, mate. Yeah, every single weekend. And do you know what's mad about it, yeah? Is I actually see people saying that he brings it on himself because he riles the crowd up. Like, what are you waffling about? Like, not everyone says that, but there's this small minority that want to be giving it the big one. Do you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it shouldn't be a thing anyway. If football wanted to get rid of it in the game, they'd find a way to get rid of it. They don't want to get rid of it. That's my opinion. They do not want to get rid of it. If they wanted to get rid of it, yeah, I've seen it. I've seen a compilation that he put together himself, Vinny Jr. Yeah, I think actually maybe I may be wrong. Maybe it was Real Madrid put it together. Yeah, and it was all the times since he's been at Madrid that it's happened before this season. Yeah, what's happened in La Liga to stop it? Nothing. Because if they really wanted to do something about it, yeah, then they would. Yeah, ban the fans. Yeah, do something. Make any fan that does it now that costs every other fan a season without going to games or something. Yeah, now stick it on the football club. The club whose one fan, two fans, however many fans do it. Yeah, you're punishing the whole lot of the fan base now, because now nobody can go to the games. But now the club has sort of saying where it never happened again after that season. You know what I'm saying? There's ways to fix this, but ultimately they don't want to fix it. Yeah, this is why when Ivan Toney refused to take the knee, and Wilfried Zaha refused to take the knee, I applauded them for that. Yeah, I've never been subjected to racism. Kenny, I'm sure you have along the years, mate. Yeah, maybe you're probably better to speak on this, because I've never been subjected to racism. The worst I get is Milky Bar Kid and Honky. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think the thing with what's happening with Vinny Jr. is that we had this problem 20 years ago when England played Spain in 2004. Ashley Cole, had to deal with it. Emil Heskey and the players that played under Sven, and nothing was done about it. Nothing was done. And then you had, God bless his soul, Louis Aragonés, what he was doing. The comparison to the late, God bless his soul, Antonio Reyes and Thierry Henry. That was a prejudice of that, and it just hasn't changed. And that's the thing. And you made a very poignant point that he brings it himself. Well, what do you mean he brings it himself? The reason why you're saying that is by saying you bring it themselves, you're basically saying your first instinct to insult someone of a black person is to use racist language. You couldn't call him anything else. You couldn't call him a bad player. You couldn't say anything, derogatory about, the way he walks, or maybe if you want to go really low towards his family, your first instinct is to use racist language. So when you use terms like he brings it himself, that means you're basically echoing the same sort of thing that the cowards are doing the same thing, because you're saying that's what you would say. Your first instinct, if I went up to that person who's saying, he brings it himself, and bumped into him, his first words were to insult me racially. So we've got a problem there. It's not the people in the crowd; it's the people who believe their first instinct is to use that kind of language. And when you've got his fellow footballers in Spain saying that, then you've got Spanish commentators. We've got a massive problem. This problem, extends around football. But you know what? Doesn't matter. There's no time to try and educate people and say, let's try and educate the Spanish people. No, let's just deal what we can deal with. And you know what? Empty stadiums, deduction of points.
Yeah.
Banning players for a season, and let them know that, if they do believe that, and you can't change how they want to behave, and you can't change how they want to behave in public, then make sure they're prevented from doing something they love. They're prevented from doing something that can, that can pay the bills. That's the only way they're going to learn, because guess what? They're not going to change. So don't bother trying to change them. Just punish them until they get the message that for the 90 minutes, they'll have to behave like normal human beings.
Yeah, mate, look, at the end of the day, like I just said, if a fan does it in a stadium, ban the whole fan base. Empty that stadium for a whole season. Watch how quick you stop it. Yeah? Because now that club's going to lose revenue on a match day for at least 19 home games, or however many it is until the end of the season. Just one fan does it, bang, you've ruined it for the rest of them, mate. And I know that's a bad way to do it, but it'll wake the football clubs up, and then they'll make it more in the spotlight that actually you do this is costing us as a club money, which is costing us growth going forwards in terms of being able to buy better players, so on and so forth. And watch how quick they stop it. People, some couple of people in the chat saying Vinny Jr. brings it on himself and this and that. No, we don't. Yeah, Vinny ain't racially abusing anyone in the crowd. Vinny's playing football, mate. Like, he's playing football. Yeah, he'll give it all of that. Yeah, give it all of that. He's a top footballer. Yeah, he thrives off of giving it the Bertie sometimes. Yeah, we've seen top players do it all the time. There's no reason to give it the big and back in that type of way. What do you make of it, Jez? Because it is a big problem in this country. I can't lie.
Huge. I mean, I've never been subject to it. Can I quickly say, whoever banned Jez as a prick, he's a mate.
That was me that banned him. I banned him real quick.
He's a mate of mine.
Oh, I'll unban him real quick then. Sorry, mate. Sorry, mate. I banned him real quick. I'll unban him.
That's what I was laughing at. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, I mean, I've never been subject to it. I've seen it. I've seen some pitiful racism in my time, horrendous. You know, I mean, you got to remember, I grew up with a lot of different races and creeds of people, and so it's never an issue to me. I just don't know how you solve the issue. I don't know how you can stop it. Could you, as you say, make teams play behind closed doors? Would that cure it? I don't think so. I think, unfortunately, Lee and Kenny, it's in the mindset of some people that they just have to be that way, and you're never going to cure it. Sadly, it's gone on. I've seen it all my lifetime, and it'll go on long after I've gone. I think it's just a despicable, sad indictment of what some people want to act in their life. I just think it's disgusting myself.
I totally agree, and I can't unban him because I banned him on StreamYard. So it don't even show up. It don't even show up on flipping. Don't even show up on the control room. Fuck's sake! Sorry, mate. Let me see if I can find a way to unban him.
He's been following you for ages, but under a different name.
Yeah, I've never seen him in the chat, and I just thought he was taking the piss, so I blocked him. But it didn't come up in the because I've done it on StreamYard. And I didn't do it in the comments on YouTube. It ain't come up, so I can't unban him.
No, he'll be back. Mate. He'll be back.
Sorry, fella. Sorry, but yeah, it's all off. Anyway, let's go back to. Let me read these super chats out real quick. Unique, thank you, buddy. I was born to Italian parents in London, raised and live in London. Leave the badge alone. It's red and white. St. George's Day should be a day off. I agree with that. It's funny because more people celebrate St. Patrick's Day in England than they do St. George's Day. We are too soft here, and we go accommodating to the woke.
It's up to people in this country. It's up to people in this country to push for it. You know, the fact is. Yeah,
the country don't push for it, Kenny. That's the problem.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But the thing with the St. George's flag, people in this country, for me, are only nationalistic for two reasons: sport and when they feel they're under threat. That's when nationalism is very important. But in other countries across Europe, people are nationalistic, not just for sport, because they're allowed to do that. But I think, unfortunately, what happens when you sleep at the wheel, and you sleep with both eyes open, if someone doesn't like I said, show their love for the country, there's going to be a group of people who will. And the sad thing about it is that nationalism is being bastardized in this country because it's got into the wrong hands. And the reason why it's got in the wrong hands is because people in this country have slept at the wheel. They slept at the wheel. We're a very, very tolerant country. We're a very, very, how to say it, liberal country in the way things don't really matter. The only thing that seems to matter in this country is, working from 9 to 5, waiting for payday, and having enough food in the fridge, having enough internet, for our kids, having a mobile phone, and that's it. It doesn't really matter. It only becomes important when a sporting event happens, and that sporting event has to be promoted, or when we're under threat. So, of course, you've got the situation of, since Brexit, it's mattered because people do feel under threat. And we need to change that. We need to, because more people, decent people, have to be able to say, you know what, I'm proud to be English. Forget the richness about English, but decent people are not pushing or supporting it, and the decent people want to support it, feel that it's being suppressed, and really, there's not enough people who are pushing for it. Be like other countries. Other countries, be like the Italians, be like the Spanish people, who are happy to, support the fact, embrace their nationalism. Because if you don't embrace it, then people are going to take the fast track, and invariably, it's going to be the wrong sort of people, the sort of people who want divisions, who want to get into people's heads about, how much they hate diversity in this country and how much they hate inclusion, equality. You're just giving them, you're just allowing them to do it, and then we're all responsible for that by allowing these animals to, take ownership of these beautiful flags. It's not their flag. In
No.
fact, they're actually disgracing it. They're soiling it with their filth and their ideology and their lies.
Yeah, spot on. Absolutely spot on. I have no idea how to unblock this fella.
He'll be back.
Sorry.
Don't worry. He'll be back.
Sorry, I've gone to the community and to all the blocked channels, and I can't, or the blocked ones, and I can't find him.
Don't worry,
I
man.
genuinely can't find him. So yeah, sorry, I've got thousands of them blocked, and I've gone through all of them while Kenny was talking. And I can't find him. So yeah, sorry, mate. Apologies. Anyway, big up to yeah, mate. It's mad that it don't show up in the YouTube chat if I ban them on StreamYard. That's mad. But there we go, because I can put a comment in on StreamYard and it'll show up on YouTube comments. So I don't know. But yeah, big up to you, Unique. Appreciate the super chat as well. Big up to Daryl as well, man. Thank you for yours as well. Can you imagine if Adidas changed the Jamaica flag? It's a reason why Jamaica doesn't have red, white, or blue. Disgraceful by Nike. Totally agree, mate. Totally agree. Yeah, there's a lot of badges that they wouldn't change and flags that they wouldn't change, mate. But unfortunately, England, they can get away with murder pretty much. So there we go.
And that's why people in this country are very complacent about their nationalism. I think that, and they, as I said, animals and D-heads have taken ownership of it and made it their own, and they think they speak for decent people, and they don't.
Yeah, thanks. All right, big up to everyone locked in the chat as well. Smash these likes up, over 500 in here, man. Jez, let's go to the game. Let's talk about the game. No Bukayo Saka, he went home. Not quite sure why they called him up when he said he was injured. Harry Kane called up whilst he was injured, and a few others as well. Quite a lot of them have gone home as well now, including Saka. But Declan Rice played the whole game. Apparently, he was outstanding. I don't know if you see whether he was outstanding in the game, because I didn't. I didn't see anyone was outstanding, if I'm honest, apart from, well, even Vinny weren't outstanding. He was decent, but he weren't outstanding. Gareth Southgate said that it was just one lapse of concentration and just one moment of the game that cost us. I don't remember their goalkeeper making a save. And I think they gave debuts to at least 5 players, Brazil, especially the 2 centre-backs. And we created absolutely nothing. And people say, oh, it's only a friendly. Yeah, cool. It's only a friendly, which is why you're supposed to have a bloody go in there.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry. It was just so boring. And for Southgate to say it was one slip of concentration, they hit the post as well. Let's not forget that, you know.
And one at the end.
Yeah. And so I'm not sure about that, Mr. Southgate, to be honest with you. No, I'm sorry. It frustrated me anyway why we had to have this break. 2 friendlies at this time of the season, when, you know, there's 3 teams really competing to win the Premier League, and we have to have 2 weeks off, which could affect the team. It did it last year for Arsenal. We had players get injured, and then we went into our breakdown time and we fell apart. I hope that's not going to happen again, because that would be bloody devastating. Yeah, I just don't get it, man. It's a waste of time. And especially after the debacle with the shirt, which we've talked about, it was just a shit show all along, really. And it was a boring game. And not one shot on target from an England team. Well, I'm sorry, that to me is not a great display for England's standard of football. And let's be honest, it was a 3rd string Brazil team, as you said. They started 5 new players. We couldn't get it over the line at Wembley. I won't be watching any more of it. I can tell you that now. I'm going to find anything else I can do tomorrow night.
Spain, Brazil, Jez. Spain, Brazil, or Germany, Holland. They're playing on the same night. I'm doing Spain, Brazil watch along.
I'll probably watch one of them. I won't be watching England, because they are absolutely crap. Sorry, rubbish. And I wouldn't say Declan Rice was outstanding. He was okay. In actual fact, I'm glad he wasn't outstanding, because at the end of the day, I don't want him getting injured and I don't want him getting knackered, to be honest. And I'm led to believe he might be captaining the England team tomorrow night against Belgium. Now, I wouldn't want him playing 90 minutes tomorrow, to be fair. I'd rather he was subbed off after 50, because we've got a massive game this weekend. It's a massive, huge cup final. You know, a game I'm already starting to get butterflies about, because I'm thinking, oh, this is a massive ask. And we've got to go to the Etihad and get those 3 points and nothing else. We've got to come out of there with 3 points, guys. And that's it. And I'm sorry, England, you are bloody boring to watch. I won't be watching you again.
I agree, mate. Well, I will be watching them again because I'm doing the bloody Euros. But there we go. I won't be watching them on Tuesday. I'll be doing Spain, Brazil. But Kenny, as somebody who likes international football, even you can't big that up, can you, mate?
There wasn't much. There wasn't much to feel at home about. All the good football came from Brazil, especially the one-touch play. You know, they kept it really simple. I thought Paquetá, must say that Paquetá, you know, he was allowed to just do whatever he wanted on that pitch. I mean, it was quite ironic that you had Portuguese officials for a Brazil-England game. What is Brazil's national tongue? Portuguese. You couldn't make it up. But maybe when England, agreed to the officials, I probably thought, oh, it's only Brazil. You know, they lost their last 3 qualifying matches. We're going to beat them easy. They're not going to do much to Copa America. Then, whoopsie! All of a sudden, they're more than up for it. They win every second ball. They actually play like England in terms of their robust tackling. And then they when they were attacked, they played like Brazil. You know, Ben Chilwell did himself no favours, especially in the latter stages of the match with his crossing. It was just abysmal. Conor Gallagher was just like a Colts player. You know, he just looked so out of place. He just looked like a kid playing against men. In terms of like Watkins has to learn quickly. You only get one chance in international football. You've got to take it.
Yes, I don't know how he stayed on. I have no idea why we started him.
Well,
that wasn't the game to start him.
I don't know. If Harry Kane being injured, that's probably why he started. But that chance for a start, you can't hesitate. The only reason why a defender gets that such is because you hesitate. You've got to be more robust because you won't get another one in international football. Harry Maguire, well, we don't really need to talk about Harry because we know what Harry can do and what he can't do and what he isn't doing. So that's another thing. Cole Walker, got injured, pulled up. As soon as he felt his hamstring, I think, whoopsie, that's him gone. Hope he's not going to be playing next Sunday. He's got pace, and a battle between him and I don't know whether it's going to be Martinelli's will be maybe something we won't see because who knows, Martinelli might not be fit. But in general, 80% of Southgate's first team are playing. Their first game in the Euros is going to be in June. That doesn't bode well because they got Belgium again. Tomorrow. I look at it. Foden, nothing from Foden.
Didn't even have a touch in the opposition box, mate.
Yeah. The only person who looked comfortable out there was Anthony Gordon. He got into really good positions. He actually tried to make things happen, but again, he couldn't hit the target. It was one of those things where it makes me think that sometimes, right, that I just can't wait to Southgate just hands in his cards and rolls off in the sunset. I just had enough of him. I can't think of any England fan that's got a good word to say about Southgate. You look at his record. The fact that he got to the Euros final, got to the semi-finals in Russia, and also got to quarterfinals in Qatar. All of those achievements are in spite of Southgate. And you know what? To say ironic about his achievements and make it the myth that it is, and it is a myth. How many top international sides did England beat on the way to that final in at Wembley 3 years ago, to that semi-final in Moscow against Croatia, How many top sides did England beat? I'll tell you.
No.
Look, see that space between my finger? Not one of them. Whenever England played a top side, nothing happened. This guy's wasted a generation of really, really good footballers. Not world-class players, good footballers. A conveyor belt of players in every position. And they're giving it to him. Cost England in the final against Italy. Cost England against Croatia. Cost England against France. This guy is a liability. Absolute liability. Safety first tactics has done England no favours and cost them tournaments, cost the players medals. Get this guy out as soon as possible.
Mate, I agree. Listen, big up to Dean in the chat. Yeah, we did play at home in the Euros and we still didn't get over the line. Pathetic. And Dean put in the chat 4 wins out of 24 against teams ranked in the top 10. It's actually 4 out of 25 because we lost to Brazil the other night. 4 wins out of the 25 games against top 10 opposition in world rankings. Yeah. That is embarrassing. Right. And I've seen people, I've done videos on this on the other channel. And people are saying, yeah, but he got you to a final. And what? Poch got to a final. He didn't bloody win it the other week. Who cares? Yeah, let's be real with this. We were 1-0 up against Italy and decided to go and park the bus. Yeah. And then we cried because Saka got his shirt pulled on the halfway line. And what, mate? Yeah. What we should have done when we had Italy on the ropes is keep going and going and going and trying to get a second goal. Because if you go 2-0 up against the Italians, they ain't coming back from that. Because then you can bring on a couple of players, yeah, and defend the game out, yeah, manage the game out. Yeah, like Croatia, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, mate. Absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace. Do you know what? There's 2 big YouTube channels on here in the footballing community, one for Arsenal and one for United. They have combined pretty much there or thereabouts the population of Croatia in terms of sub base. Yeah, they got nearly 4 million subs between them, and that's how many people live in Croatia. So the pool of players in Croatia that they can pick from is literally 1/15 or 1/12 of the players you can get from Britain or England. Well, you can get them from Britain because Declan Irish and that. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I knew you'd like that, Kenny. Yeah, but at the same time, like this manager, his in-game tactics are a joke. His starting 11s are a joke. And the reason I said I wouldn't have started Ollie Watkins in that game, I would have started him against Belgium because Belgium are going to come and try and play football. Yeah, Brazil weren't going to ever play football. They're not a footballing team anymore. They're just a hope for the best from Vinny Jr. Yeah, or Rodrigo. And Vinny's record for Brazil is shocking. I think he scored 3 goals in about 26 appearances for Brazil. Why? Because the midfield ain't all that. When you look at it on paper, you think, oh, yeah, they got Bruno, they got Paqueta, they got Douglas. I'm sorry, they used to have Rivaldo and Kaká. Like, it ain't what it used to be. Then you go to their defence. Yeah, that defence they had out there the other night. Yeah, I think the 2 centre-backs made their debut. The left-back pocketed Saka the other week, and our fans, England fans, are sitting there going, we miss Saka. Hello, against Porto, he was pocketed by the same fella. Like he would have done anything. Yeah, let's just be real with it. Harry Kane, cool, maybe. Yeah, Saka, yeah, cool, maybe. But let's just be real with it. Putting Ollie Watkins on that pitch, and I like Ollie Watkins. You need Ollie Watkins in a team that are counter-attacking. Yeah, we're always trying to be on the front foot and trying to dominate the ball. Yeah, but we're going up against a Belgium team that are going to actually come and have a go. Brazil, that was a new manager. They weren't really going to come and have a go. They were going to try, but they weren't going to go gung-ho against us like the former Brazil teams. So that's a game for me where you have Ivan Toney on the pitch. He can hold the ball up. He can link Foden into play. He can link Gordon into play. You can get Jude running off of him. Instead, what was Ollie Watkins doing? And he played the whole bloody game. Yeah, and again, that manager's subs, he's a wrong one, mate. How Conor Gallagher stayed on that pitch, how he even started the game, how he's even in the squad is embarrassing. Yeah, and I did an England 11 the other day. People in the chat were asking me who my England squad would be, and I wanted to ask you guys as well. You don't have to give us the whole squad unless you want to, right? But Livramento's been good this season. He qualifies for England and Scotland. So why can't he play at left back? Yeah, Rico Henry's left back at Brentford. Why can't he play?
Yeah, but Rico Henry's out for the season, though, isn't he? Because of ironically, Anthony Gordon injured him. Injured him in the
right. Well, either way, Livramento can play, and then you could have Chilwell as backup if you have to. Right? When it comes to centre backs. Why haven't we got I know Tomori's been in and out this season with injuries, but Southgate don't even go to Italy to watch him. But he goes and watches Ajax to watch Jordan fucking Henderson.
No.
Why don't you go and watch Tomori? You know what Harry Maguire's going to do. He's useless. Yeah, get Tomori in there with John Stones. Then go and get a couple of other. If you can put Braithwaite in there if you want, then you can have Harry as the fourth choice.
Is Mark Gahey injured for Palace? Is he injured?
I'm not sure. No, he was on the bench. I think he was on the bench.
Yeah, day. You know, you've got Mark Gahey, who who actually has started in qualification matches when there's been injuries to Maguire, so he's looks like a shoo-in. Tomori, needs to have a look at it. John Stones is certainty. In terms of right back, Walker's going, Trippier's going, because I think Trippier is basically going to play left back with Ben Chilwell, because Ben Chilwell didn't do himself any favours. So Chilwell's going to go because he's left-footed. Depends on how Luke Shaw. I don't think Luke Shaw's going to be ready in time, so I don't think Shaw's going to go. The midfield, Bellingham, Henderson's going, Rice is going. You know it's going to happen. In terms of like the down the right hand side or inside mid forward, Saka, Foden definitely going. Then down the left,
Palmer should be going.
I think he'll go. I think he'll be a wild card. I think
Grealish should be going. Hopefully,
Grealish should fit. He's going. Sadly, Raheem Sterling has finished ever since that. To this day, only Raheem Sterling, Gareth Southgate, and Surrey Police know what happened. I'm sorry, but what a coincidence! You leave the tournament early, and then you come back, and you come on a sub in what was eventually a lost cause against France, and then you're never seen again. Quite ironic, really. I mean, I'm not one for coincidences. I'm one for facts, because this is what this show's all about: facts and honest opinions. Well, something went on. I mean, something happened. You can't be one of Gareth's mainstays. In the World Cup in 2018, the Euros in 21, well 2020, but 21, and the World Cup. And all of a sudden, at the age of 28, that's it. Your international career's finished.
It's the same with Ben White, though. Ben White's declared that he don't want to play for England. Yeah, why? Well, something's happened there, isn't there?
Well, the Ben White one, as far as I'm concerned, I'm taking my Arsenal badge off, and I'm going to put my England badge on. Fair enough. If you don't want to play for England and you leave a tournament early, one thing is it's out of order, because let me tell you something now. If you leave a tournament for personal reasons, as far as I'm concerned, that's a place that could have gone to someone else.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You were chosen as one of the best 23 players in the country to represent your country. You come home early for personal reasons. Now, if it was
staff, apparently that's what it's about. Apparently, he fell out the training staff. He didn't want to do the routines or plays that they were telling him to do. So he said, "I don't want to play. I'm going home."
And see, that makes it even worse. That makes it even worse. I understand if it was a situation involving personal reasons. Obviously, you can translate them and they're serious. But when it's something to do with a ding dong with the number two, it wasn't a ding dong when you're your manager. It was a number two, and then you come home early. That's a place that could have gone to someone else. So in that respect, I wasn't happy with that. And two, if you don't want to play for England, that's it. It's over. But don't expect to play under a new manager, as far as I'm concerned. That's it. You should never be allowed to play for England again.
I don't think Ben White wanted to be there anyway, because he knew that no matter how well he played, and he did play very well last season, which is why he's been, and this season, which is why he's been called up. But excuse me. But he also knows he ain't going to be starting. Yeah, and let's just have it right here. He openly admits he doesn't really like watching football. Right? So why the fuck does he want to sit on the bench and watch Southgate ball? Yeah, let's just be real. If you know you're not going to start, no matter how well you play for your club, and you're top of the league right now, but if Kyle Walker's fit, he's starting, or Trent's going to start over you, why would you want to go? You're just
Yeah,
wasting 3-4 weeks of your summer.
He's right. He's right, and that's his choice. But the thing is, he doesn't pick the squad. He doesn't pick the team. You know, he knew the environment. He knew that when you go away with England, invariably, you know, there's going to be games you're not going to be involved in. But to be part of the squad, you've got to be involved in training sessions. You've got to put yourself in contention. And if you're not prepared to do that, and you're going to take umbrage with basically someone just making an opinion, maybe he said it the wrong way. At the end of the day, that's what football's all about. That's what the game's about. You know, Ben White was only playing, right back, only for half a season. Trippier's a season right back, and so is Kyle Walker. Of course, they're going to be in front of you. In terms of, like, if you want to play centre half, then there's a lot of players that are in front of you. Benjamin White was bought for his versatility. And he should know that as a footballer who was signed from Brighton, not because he was a good centre half, not because he's a good right back, because of his versatility across positions, i.e. centre half, playing the back three, and playing right back, and actually playing midfield. That's what we signed him for. That's what England brought him for. So if he can't, gouge that or accept that, then, that's it. Because that's going to be the case with the next manager. He's going to be involved in these squads because of his versatility. And he may not play. He may not play because, the manager may feel there's someone better in that position. But he's still going to want to be part of that squad, part of that environment. And if you don't want to do that, then your career's over. You shouldn't play for England. Forget it. No manager should make an overture for a player who says he doesn't want to play for his country. It's not on.
Yeah, mate, I agree. But listen, this manager is not going to do what's required anyway, so it's all irrelevant. Even if he picked the right players, he ain't going to pick them start every game. And like I said, like James Maddison and Ivan Toney was sat on the bench the other night. Why didn't they come on? How did Ollie Watkins get a whole game? Yeah, and like people have said in the chat, Southgate has gone all the way to Bayern, on company expenses to go and watch Harry Kane. It's gone all the way to Holland on company expenses to watch Jordan Henderson. Yeah, he can't be asked to get on a plane and fly to Italy to watch Tomori. Yeah, embarrassing. Yeah, it genuinely is embarrassing. Yeah, and there's players that should be getting a gig. Yeah, that ain't getting a gig. Yeah, I always think, right, this is why England always fail, right? Because year after year after year after year, the manager of England, whoever that may be, never picks players based on merit. They pick players based on reputation and what they've done previously, not what they're doing going into a tournament, right? Now, let's just be real. Yeah, he's taken Harry Maguire. We know this. Why? Because he's been there before and he's experienced. And he's also part of failure. Yeah, and he's been part of the relegation into the Nations League lower division. He's going to take Jordan Henderson. Why? He's also been part of failure. That guy's also won one game since he's moved to Ajax in January. One game. Yeah. Why are you there? He's about 34, 35, isn't he? Why are we taking him? Now, our midfield, we could genuinely have in midfield Declan Rice, Kobe Mino, and Jude Bellingham. Or what we could do is we could take Kobe Mino out, put Jude in at number 8 next to Declan Rice, and then have Maddison in. But then if we don't want to put Maddison in, we could put Grealish at number 10. If we don't want to put him in, we could put Foden at number 10. Right? Got so many different options attacking-wise. Yeah, defensively, we've got less than midfield and attack, obviously, because it's only one, and we've got two other parts of the pitch. But we've still got better defenders than what he's going to take. He's going to take Chilwell. We already know that. If Luke Shaw's fit, he'll try and shoehorn him into the squad. There's pathetic. Yeah, you could put Trent in midfield. You could play Trent as an 8. Yeah, next to Rice. You could put Rice as an 8 and put Mino as the 6. There's so many different things we could do. The substitutions are an absolute shambles. Yeah, real talk. Right. So somebody said to me the other day, I posted out on Twitter saying Southgate out, sacking before the Euros, we can salvage a Euro campaign. Yeah. Somebody put, it's 80 days until the Euros. What does that? Hold on, didn't Ivory Coast sack their manager after 3 games or 2 games in it? Yeah, and they went and won it, didn't they? Sorry, Kenny. Yeah, they went. It's true, they went and won it. Right now, then somebody replied to that and put, yeah, but who's available? Well, Graham Potter's sitting at home doing nothing. You're telling me we wouldn't play better football? At least it'd be half decent to look at. Yeah, Jose Mourinho sat home. He knows how to navigate through tournaments. He's done it with Roma twice before he got sacked. Yeah, and that's a washed-up Jose. He's still won 2 tournaments in Europe. Yeah, then you've got Conte. That shithouse knows how to get through a tournament. Maybe not so much with... in fact, he doesn't know how to get through a tournament. He knows how to get through leagues. I'll rephrase that. But he still knows to cross the line. Yeah, Tuchel will become available. Yeah, he's going to be available. Klopp's going to be available. Yeah, like this, mate. Somebody said to me, "What about Arsene Wenger?" I was like, "No, I don't really want him, but he's miles clear. Yeah, miles clear. Even if Arsene Wenger, God bless him, yeah, yeah, cool. We'll say God bless him. Even if he went blind, he would still know where all the players are on the bloody pitch and what to do in a fucking game. Gareth Southgate's got 2 working eyes. Yeah." And what has he actually done in his career to even get to this position of being 8 years as England manager? How many other managers would have survived 8 years after abject failure? That's ridiculous. Mate, the only reason he's still in this job, yeah, is because everybody's bloody nan loves him. He's a lovely young man. Oh, he dresses so smart. He speaks so well. He's a puppet, mate. Yeah, get him out of there. Send him back to fucking Dorchester as the concierge and jog him on, mate. Yeah, because that's all he's good for. Yeah, he is absolutely awful. He should have been sacked after the flipping Euros or the World Cup or after relegating in the Nations League. Yeah, and this is why half the country don't bother watching England in these dead friendlies. Yeah, and this is why the only time it's a buzz with it's coming home and all that crap, yeah, is because we get to a quarter final and all of a sudden half the country wake up and go, right, it's coming home, lads. How many people are genuinely taking days off work to go and watch that crap in the group stage? They're not, are they? Yeah, they're not. Yeah, people only care when you come out of the group stage. Yeah, because then they think, oh, hang on a minute, we might actually have a chance of winning it here. Oh, we get through the quarters, we're in a semi. We get through the semi, we're in a final. Now we've got a chance. We have 3 games. It's pathetic. Absolutely awful. There are so many other managers out there that could do a better job than him. Right, without even having any games to manage him in before that tournament. If Jose Mourinho went in there, when people say, oh, but he hasn't got time to work with the squad. Why does he need time to work with the squad, mate? He's been in the job 30 years. He knows how to coach, knows how to get the best out of people. He's telling me he couldn't get Jude Bellingham playing better than he did the other night. The old Foden playing better than he did the other night. And you're telling me he can't coach a defence. Well, he seems to keep winning everywhere he goes, apart from Tottenham. Nobody can win at Tottenham, apart from Georgie Graham. Yeah, but no, I just find it baffling, mate. Even Big Sam, bring Big Sam back, mate. They still give a shit. Yeah, but he's not marketable, is he? Yeah, that's all it is. He's not marketable, mate. Yeah, it's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. He just talks a good chat.
Big Sam loves a bit too much of this, doesn't he?
Yeah.
The fake shake. Anyway. Let me get your predictions for where we're finishing in the Euros, lads. Go on, Jez. We're getting out of the group, I'll take it, yeah?
Oh, Christ. Mate. I'll say quarters and go home. Quarters.
Quarters and home, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, let me just quickly run through our group again because I've totally forgotten who's even in our group. Right, we've got Slovenia, Denmark, and Serbia. You reckon after that we get quarters, yeah? What about you, Kenny?
That'd be it.
I think it'd be quarters because I look at the way England are playing. They're not playing any. They're not playing any kind of flying football. Not playing any kind of pace whatsoever. It's so, Kane has to be 100% fit, and Saka has to be on his game because I think they're the 2 players that I think that will unlock the European defences and cause fear across Europe. Apart from that, defensively, it's a mess. It's just so slow. They play with they're going to play with a high line, which a lot of teams play with because everyone likes pressing. But if I played against England and they were playing a high line with Harry Maguire in that team, I'd be licking my lips. I'd be going, I want some of that high line against that England defence. I'll be loving it. Seriously, it's so slow and so ponderous. It's really, really bad, especially if Kyle Walker's not 100% fit.
Yeah. I want to read this question out real quick. Just simple yes or no on this, lads. Yeah. Smash these likes up as well, guys. Come on, 650 in here. Do you claim Ashley Cole? Ashley Cole. I'm not going to say the song, but you know the song. Yeah, but I will say, he was a joy to watch at Arsenal. He was a top player. Yeah, just a shame he went to your lot, mate. But
yeah,
there we go.
Actually, class left back, mate. Yeah, his contribution to the game on his day. Whew, wow, awesome player.
I concur. I think he's one of the best players that has ever played, laced one of the best left backs the Premiership's ever produced. He's probably one of the best left backs we've ever had. And we've had some really good left backs, but Ashley Cole, you know, I'm going to stand on my soapbox. I'm going to say it factually. Sorry, Arsenal fans. Sorry, positive Arsenal fans. As much as I loathed these men, they were spot on to leave us. Eddie Boyle was right to leave us. Van Persie was right to leave us. Fabregas was right to leave us. Nasri was right to leave us. Kleb, Ashley, all the rest leave us. We were finished in terms of fighting for big honours. We, as Jack said on the Simon Jordan podcast, we were a top 4 side, and we were happy being that way. Sorry, man, you did the right thing to leave us.
Yeah, facts, absolute facts. One more thing before we talk about early thoughts on City. Firstly, smash these likes up, lads. Jez, his link for his channel, Arsenal History and More, and Kenny Ken 1972 Insta, a pinned comment. So make sure you follow both. I want to get both of your thoughts. Either one of you go first, whatever. But why is it the Premier League is hustle and bustle, 100-mile-an-hour football, right? And the England national team play like they're in reverse. Why don't we play 100-mile-an-hour hustle and bustle football on the front foot? I don't get it, because most of the players that we pick for England play in the traditional top 6 teams, or Real Madrid, or Bayern Munich now as well. Yeah, but why don't we do this 100-mile-an-hour football? Why is it always we go to the pace that the other teams play at in their leagues? Because we're playing into their hands. If we came out the traps and went 100-mile-an-hour at these teams, I think we'd wallop a few of them. Yeah, even some of the bigger nations, but we just play into their tempo. Why do we do that?
I just think it's the fact that it's not just this England team. We've done it for previous management teams. And I don't know. I don't get it. And that's why, there was a point of time back in the 80s when England used to play some decent football. And it was actually quite enjoyable to watch. I used to watch it then. But now I just find it really hard work to watch it, because I just think I know what's going to come before me. It's going to be slow, ponderous, and it's just hard work to watch, because it just takes, I'm sitting here like, when's half time? When are we going to get through half time? Because this is crap, man. And I don't get it. I just think it's the England way. It just needs a complete restructure. Would we do it, Lee, with a different manager? I think if we had somebody who's got a bit more incisive way of playing football, then it'll be a totally different thing, and it probably may well be enjoyable to watch again. But one of the problems I see also is team selections are just not what they should be from this manager in particular. And that is why I just can't be bothered to watch it. Seriously, I love watching football. Yeah, but I just can't watch this boring stuff. I watched the game the other night, Friday night. It was Wales, Finland? What a game of football that was. 4-1. It was a great game of football to watch.
Yeah, Wales slapped them.
Yeah, I mean, it was, and that was a qualifying thing. And I thought, wow, this is decent football we're watching here. And that's Wales, who have not got the greatest history in world football, let's be honest. They have more recently got the World Cup, Euros, etc. But they were interesting to watch. When I sit back and watch what I watched at the weekend, it was like, this is just boring. Boring. I mean, if that was Arsenal playing like that, and we know with Arsenal have had some crap games in recent time, right, I would be going absolutely mental. But I just sat there chatting to Anthony and thinking, well, this is England. What else do I expect to watch? And the only reason I watched it, the only reason I did that was because I had nothing else to do. If I actually had something I could constructively go and do. I wouldn't have watched that game.
Mate, I'm doing Sweden Albania tonight. I'll drop the missus to the airport. See you in 2 weeks, love. I'm going to sit and watch Sweden Albania. Nothing else to do. Yeah, it's pissing down with rain. It's freezing cold. Well, it's not freezing cold, but it's cold. Hence the dressing gown's back on. And it's like, well, I might as well stream that game and chat to the community, innit? Do you know what I mean? What about you, Kenny? Why don't we play 100 mile an hour? I know it's more like tactical and all of that, but this is why I've always found it funny, because a lot of people that watch Premier League football say that these other leagues that are tactical leagues like Spain, Portugal, Italy, etc., they're crap farmers leagues. So why do we go and bow down to how they play their football then? Why don't we just play our pace and power football?
Yeah, because I think England managers over in the past have been scared of trying to play their way, because if you look, everyone talks about Terry Venables playing some good stuff, and Glenn Hoddle played some good stuff as well when he was England manager. Well, Glenn Hoddle played with wing backs because he was scared of England being outnumbered in midfield, and Terry Venables played with a Christmas tree because of that. And I think the reason why they don't play their high level, I call it high protein football, really, like helter skelter football, because I think in that, by the time it gets to tournaments, England, most of the players are knackered anyway. You just can't do it. They're running an empty. Two, England, the problem England have always had when they played international football is their ability to, not just on the ball, to keep the ball. They play like they're playing the Premiership, and they've done it, tried to do it before. They haven't been able to get the ball back. They've had to do a lot of running on to try and reclaim the ball. And by the time, the opposition gets in the penalty area, they're cleaning England up. And I think that's what it is. International football, unfortunately, is like Champions League football. It's different. It's got to play at a different pace. And that's why, Southgate'S, is getting a lot of flowers, because he talks up international football. Oh, yeah, it's a different place. We've got tournament football. He says all the right buzzwords. But I do think, on a realistic point of view, until we get players who are actually comfortable on the ball, and so we can play a high tempo, especially players who are comfortable in midfield. I'm not talking creativity in terms of creativity, but players who can just keep the possession, keep the ball, then England can't play helter-skelter football, because if they do, they'll get absolutely mullered, because the opposition would just sit back, and then when the opposition get the ball, we're going to spend more time chasing it in order to get the ball back to play at that kind of high-tempo level, and it'll be a disaster, especially with the way we play here. You look at the best players who play in the Premiership aren't English, are they? They're foreign players. The best managers, best managers in England are foreign. We now play a foreign style play, where we kind of embrace our robust running with a bit of foreign panache when it comes on the ball.
Yeah, thanks. Listen, we're gonna speak about Man City, Arsenal, real quick before we wrap this up. Apparently, there's some breaking news. Smash these likes up to 600 people live. We're going to redirect to Said in 15 minutes, guys. I'll be live in an hour for Sweden and Albania if you want to come and join me for that. Game of the day, lads. But breaking news, after Edison done an injury the other week, now Ortega has picked up a shoulder injury. So it's either going to be Scott Carson in goal, allegedly, or a young goalkeeper. Yeah, I don't know whether this is Pep mind game, so don't get too excited, Kenny, because Edison has strolled out on the pitch on Sunday. And we'll all be sitting there going, well, that went well.
Lee, a thigh injury is a lot harder to clear up than a hamstring injury.
Well, this is true. Ask Tommy Yasu. He spent 6 months out with one, come back and spent another 4 months out. Although he was fit to go to the Asia Cup, and then he come back with another one. Just saying.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know when Edison is back fit, lads. But because Saka pulled out the squad, he was actually declared he was unfit before he went. So I don't know why they summoned him. Since when do they pay his wages in comparison to the club? We've also got Gabriel Magalhaes apparently pulled out for precaution. Pause. And obviously Gabriel Martinelli as well. Plus, we've still got another round of games to go in these internationals. Trossard for Belgium. Declan Rice is apparently going to be captain tomorrow. And we've got a few others. Zinchenko. Funny that he got subbed the other night, and then they scored the winner, Ukraine, as soon as he went off. Also funny that Scotland will dominate in Holland, although they were 1-0 down. But they were all over them, and then as soon as Tierney got hooked, they capitulated and conceded 3 more. Just saying. Anyway, friends of Tierney over here, repping my guy. I hope he leaves in the summer. But where are you sitting with this, Jez? You said earlier you got butterflies and all of that. You're like getting a bit nervous for the game. If we beat them, do you think that's them out of it? Or do you think that they've still got enough about them to stay in it? Because we got some big games. I think we've got 8 games in April.
Yeah, huge amount of games. Right. My view on that is that we've got to win. It's no excuse. We have to win. If not, we've got the toughest running, in my opinion. So we've got everything to play for, and we've got to get that result there. And okay, if Man City lose, I'm not going to write them off. They're that sort of team with the squad depth they've got. They can still come back because we've still got to win every game. That's the thing. We've got them chasing us, right? Yeah, Liverpool, Man City are chasing us, and they're going to be trying to chase us right to the wire. So we've got to keep going. And if we lose it on the last day of the season because it's that tight, fair enough. But don't capitulate like we did this time last year. Yeah, and the wheels came off. It all went horribly wrong. But no, I won't write off Man City right now because they're just too good. And yeah, I am nervous already. It's only Monday. I've only got a whole week to go, and I'll keep thinking about this game. I'm thinking, where would I play? How would I do it? And yeah, is that true about the injury? I don't know. Is that Pep's mind games? I don't know. But
or is it just some Herbert making it up?
Yeah, that could be it. Until I actually see it on Sky Sport, I'm not going to read anything into that at all. But it's come on, guys. We've just got to go all out, 100 mile an hour, and win every single game. Every point is important. You know, I fear we get a draw at Man City. That's it, over. I do. I think
it depends, doesn't it? Liverpool have got the best running, and they're in the Europa League, and they've got Atalanta at home. This stat, Marvo, is fake. Yeah, because City lost to Brentford at home last season. They also lost to Wolves at home this season.
They lost to Wolves this season at home.
Yeah.
I think if they lost to Brentford because he has got a bit of
the winner, and he should have been sent off, and he scored the winner this season. This season, I think it was this season. Yeah, he got sent off. He should have been sent off, but it was this season. Yeah, Wolves was at the Molineux. Well, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure
they lost at Molineux. But he's actually right, Marvo, because before the World Cup, in 2022,
it was at Molineux. My bad. Apologies, but they did lose to Brentford last season.
Yeah, that was December 22.
Well, there you go. He's right then. I take it all back. I know nothing about football. My football knowledge is in the gutter, lads.
No. Marvo has got a point, but I know, but you know, he should have been more specific and said they haven't lost since last season. But you know, in terms of like the game, I'm really excited about it because I think this is it now. You know, regardless of who's playing, you know, people talk about fake news regarding Ortega. Well, there was fake news going around Twitter that Martinelli would need an operation, so he'd be out for the season. So, you know, we all got our own. As they say, as Greek Cypriot people say, everyone's got their own truth. You know what I mean? So we'll find out on Sunday. But in terms of like the championship race, Arsenal have to lay down a marker, and if they can win at City, then that really lays down a marker. We win at City, we're 4 points ahead of them. You know what I mean? Which means we're the ones in the ascendancy. We're the ones who have won 9 games in a row. Which means that could, you know, put us in good stead. A draw, mathematically, would not be a disaster, but in terms of like psychologically, I think it will benefit City more if they draw than us. And the reason why I say it is because they're only going to be a point behind. And then we still got to go to White Hart Lane. We still got to go Brighton, got to go Wolves.
Man
and obviously
United.
Trafford. Whilst
And
they've
we've got to play Chelsea as well.
yeah, well, Chelsea. Yeah, whilst they've got to go to all those other teams
And Brighton
as well.
away. Listen, as much as I mock that hippie down at Brighton, he's got a few results against us since he's been there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But you would probably favour Man City in those sort of kind of difficult games because of the personnel they have, rather than us. But let's face it, we beat Man City at the Etihad. I think it's the title race. You know, it should be right. I know I shouldn't really be saying this, but I do think it'll be probably a shootout between us and Liverpool. But the thing about it is that no matter how many points Man City are behind, unless it's mathematically impossible to win it, you still have to. You still got to see one eye open. But this game in itself, I could just see Mikel parking a bus and then relying on pace. Because if Mikel does play the same way he played against us, he's definitely going to need the pace of Martinelli. Martinelli's a must. Not just Saka.
Do what we did when we beat him at home.
Yeah,
do the same thing. Get out and just hope for Martinelli to do something.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If Martinelli's not fit, where's the pace going to come from? Where's the genuine
Ain't we got to whip it in the youth academy? And we've got somebody who's rapid on the break in the youth academy.
I think in games like this, you know, where City are going to play a high line and, you know, press up the pitch, Martinelli's going to be really, really vital. We don't have him, then we're going to have to look at elsewhere to try and win the game. Maybe rely on a set piece from, Declan set piece and Gabriel Magalhaes to put the ball in, and we just defend. But I do think that pace is going to be key against Man City. So for me, Martinelli I pray Martinelli's fit, and I pray Saka's got his shooting boots on. But let's face it, for me, Man City are the favourites for this game because they're playing at home. And if I was a Man City fan, 1 point behind Arsenal, 1 point behind Liverpool, I'll be licking my lips and thinking, you know what? We're the champions. We're the champions of Europe. We're the FA Cup holders. We're the team to beat, and we're playing at home. Yeah. We're the favourites. That's what I'll be thinking. I was a Man City fan.
And this is the game that, well, can Saka turn up and win us a game against Man City at the Etihad? Because last year he was awful. Yeah, let's just have it right. The whole team was. I know Rob Holding got one back, but that team was a shit show. Yeah, that they gave up before they even stepped on the pitch. Yeah, and that was a game that if Man City had beaten us, which they did, they went above us. And that was the performance we put out last season. Yeah, and people can label it as, oh, Saliba was out injured, that's why we fell apart. Well, all the more reason why we should have gone into the market and bought more centre-backs then.
You know what, Lee? You know what, Lee? Regardless of whether we're playing well or not, Man City are good enough to put on a real humdinger of performance and beat this really good Arsenal side. And this Arsenal side is really, really good. They're still more than capable on their day of giving us a thumping because they're that good.
They can turn up and give them a thumping.
You know what I mean? So,
and the thing is, we haven't proved that we can give a massive team a thumping. I know we beat Liverpool 3-1. It was quite comfy, but it weren't a pounding. Yeah,
they handed the game. It was even until Alisson and Van Dijk decided to do a double act.
Yeah, it was. And this is the thing. Even against Tottenham, we at home, we drew 2-2. Yeah, against Man United, it was stoppage time winners. 2 goals in stoppage time after Garnacho's goal was disallowed for offside. So it's like we haven't gone and walloped a big team yet. And when I say wallop, I mean spanked them. I know we beat Liverpool and it was fairly comfy. They had 1 shot on target. But like you said, until Alisson and Van Dijk messed up, they were in that game. Yeah, the difference is Man City can just press a switch and they go and spank someone. And it could be us. Yeah, I don't think they will spank us. I actually don't think either team will win. I think we'll both draw. Yeah, as much as I'd love us to go there and win, I just don't see us winning. But this is where Mikel needs to earn his money now. And it must be jarring for him as well, and for some of these players, because some of these players, when they're playing for their country, got one eye on this game. Yeah, same with the City players. They got one eye on this game. Yeah, I was sitting there going, get Rice off the pitch, mate. Get him off. And now he's apparently captain for tomorrow. So you know he's going to play a large percentage of that game tomorrow. Phil Foden might play a lot of that game tomorrow. John Stones might play a lot of that game because Harry Maguire's gone home now. You know, there's a few other. I think Harry Kane went home as well. I think he sent a few of them home. Yeah, but now you've then got to get your players back on Wednesday. Yeah, are they going to train Wednesday, or are you just going to get them in for some light training, like just to assess the squad? Yeah, and let's not forget they're coming from all different parts around the world.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And so some of them might not turn up until Thursday. Then you're going to do a training session on Thursday or Friday. Yeah, then Saturday, and then you're going to, and it's like, it's not easy, but this is why he's getting paid 8 million quid a year. This is why these players are multi-millionaires, because it ain't easy. It ain't easy to go and win a Premier League. It ain't easy to go and win a Champions League, and it ain't easy to do a flipping treble. Yeah, and this is why Man City are the best team, because they've done a treble. Yeah, they're the best team in Europe right now. Yeah, they're the best team in the Premier League, and they're the best FA Cup team right now because they're the current holders, and yet again they're in a semi-final. Yeah. So it's not an easy game, and despite Man City not being great this season to watch, because I think they've been bloody awful to watch this season. It's not like when they had Aguero and all David Silvers and all that; they were fucking brilliant to watch. Yeah, now it's walking football, but at any point, bang, they can turn it on. Yeah, and that's the problem with us. At any point, we don't go from walking football, boring, slow, methodical football, to bang, one moment. We don't do that. Yeah, we either play really well and go and spank a team, or we start really slow and then we get turned over. Yeah, it's very, very rare we'll go from being sluggish and slow to then go bang, bang, bang. Yeah, whereas I watched that Man United City game the other week, or City United, whatever way around it. I think it was at Old Trafford, wasn't it? Yeah, Man City weren't in that game for ages. Yeah, and then all of a sudden, bang, Phil Foden just starts turning up. Yeah, and they've got so many clutch players in that team. It's like, where are our clutch players? Because if Saka has a bad game, then we're pretty shafted going forward. Yeah, because Martinelli, as dangerous as he is, unless he's got a bit of time, he ain't ever getting his head up. Then Odegaard gets marked out of a game. Yeah, look at the way Porto played against us. Yeah, and Pep's a smart manager, man. This is why he's the best manager in the world. But if we want to beat anyone to a title, we have to go there and win. I don't think a draw is good enough, but you never know. It depends what Liverpool do. They got Brighton this weekend, and they've got a lot of injuries as well, Liverpool.
They're smashing Brighton. They're smashing Brighton.
Oh, you say that. You say that, but you never know. Brighton are a dodgy team. One week they get panned 5-0, the next they win 5-0.
I think last season without that, Brighton you would fancy Brighton to get something against even us. But this Brighton side has been decimated by player sales and hasn't made the transition of playing 2 games a week. That's what we've seen. It's just sometimes the well was dry in terms of players, and that's what's happening with Brighton. That's why maybe next season when they go back to normal and don't qualify for anything, they'll probably be at their best playing 1 game a week. But this Brighton side just hasn't made that physical transition of playing 2 games a week and losing. Come on, how many players have they lost? Trossard, Casado, who's there? Cucurella, all these. I'm named 3 of their spine already. You know what I mean? They're betting themselves. Like the Japanese player hasn't been a player who was last.
There's another one.
McAllister as well. He's left as well.
He's having a good season. The good thing is both Man City and Arsenal know what they've got to do. Yeah, they both have to win. Yeah, and that's even despite Liverpool playing before us on the same day. I know they'll have one eye on that game, but regardless, both teams are setting up to go and win, hopefully.
The thing with the Liverpool side is that as much as they don't know how to clean sheets, they still manage to score in virtually every game they play in. That's where the problem is going to be for Brighton. Is Brighton could score 2, Liverpool could score 5. Yeah,
facts. Listen, we are going to wrap this up. Saeed's going live literally now for his podcast. We're going to redirect to Saeed. I'm live again in about 45-50 minutes for Sweden versus Albania. Gosh, that's how we roll, lads. We're going to watch this. In fact, before we go, let's actually see if this hipster striker is actually starting, because he dropped an absolute stinker the other night. The team news ain't come out on Google yet. Somebody in the chat, let me know if this Gokaris guy is starting, because I watched him the other night. It's the first time I've watched him, because let's be real, nobody watches Sporting Lisbon unless you're a Sporting Lisbon fan or your team are playing against Sporting Lisbon. But the hype is he's the next Ibra. He was tripping over the ball non-stop the other night and scored from 1 millimetre out and then got hooked. So yeah, I'm going to watch him again tonight, and we'll see if he's actually any good this time. But yeah, been a good show, man. And This time next week, we'll be sitting here. Absolutely, he's on the bench. There you go. Big up to you, Giles. This time next week, we'll be sitting here the day after the Man City Arsenal game, either absolutely buzzing or absolutely
crying.
Head down like, wow, that's it, lads. We fucked it. Or, well, maybe we're still in it. Who knows? Yeah, that's the beauty of football. But this manager has got to find a way. I don't care how he does it. I don't care. I genuinely do not care how we play in that game. Just get the win. Yeah, just get the win. Yeah, even if it's the most dirtiest, stinkiest, most horrible game like that England game the other night, just get the win. Get the win, walk out of there with 3 points, and then it's like, yo, we've done a double on them. Done a double on them this season. That psychologically might stitch them up a little bit, but it is what it is. But Jez, always a pleasure, mate. What you got coming up this week? Shout your channel out. It's pinned comment, guys.
Yeah, Arsenal history and more. Wednesday night, 6 o'clock, is talking about the 98 and 02 teams. Which being on Friday, I'm going to do a match preview for the Man City Arsenal game. And yes, I'm looking forward to that. And come on, Arsenal, we got to do it, man, because otherwise, it's going to be the end of me. I'll be honest. Scary.
And just to confirm, Luton isn't in London. Despite it saying London Luton Airport, it is not in London, lads. It's not London. Yeah, it's not London. But yeah, make sure you sub to Jez, Arsenal history and more. Kenny Ken 1972 is also pinned in the live chat as well. What you got coming up, mate?
I'm going to be with Jez on Wednesday because we're going to talk about the Arsenal Wenger's 2 excellent double winning teams, 98 and 2002. I still think, and I'm going to repeat it, that the best Arsenal side I've ever seen was Arsene Wenger's 2002 double winning side, followed by George Graham's 91 side that should have been the Invincibles. I consider those 2 teams superior to the Invincibles, but the 98 season was a mad season, and the 2002 season was a mad season, but all be revealed this Wednesday. And then on Friday, because I'm a Roman Catholic, I won't be eating any meat because it's Friday. Good Friday. A Good Friday, all Catholics, all Christians don't eat meat. So it's off to the fish and chip shop for me.
Mate, it's Holy Week over here. They call it Semana Santa. It's Holy
We
Week.
had Palm Sunday yesterday. I didn't go to Mass. But we now got the stations across.
The whole week. The whole week out here. It's massive. And the thing is, it's absolutely fucking hammering down all week, which is kind of wild.
Well, you're in a Catholic country, aren't you?
They're massive on it out here as well.
Yeah, massive. Hey, Lee, are you going to be with us on Wednesday?
What time? 6?
Yeah.
Bear with, because I've agreed to go on Hussam's channel and Staffy's channel. I'm not 100% what time, but I think it was daytime. Yeah, I've asked them to remind me. I'm pretty sure it's daytime, so I should be. But let me just double check if there's any watch-alongs that I've agreed to do. 1 second. Smash these likes up, hijo de puta.
By the way, Jez, that 91...
Oh, yeah, I can join you, Jez. I can join you.
By the way, guys, that 91 show, it brought out some memories, because people have been speaking to us about it, where they're thinking, bloody hell, kid, I remember that. I remember, things leading up to, they talked about the semi-final, they talked about, the games we won and everything. I thought that was a good, really good,
Yeah, it's a good show.
Down memory lane.
Yeah. It's good debate, actually. And went on for nearly 2 hours. It's not, Jesus. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the one Wednesday. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, man. We're going to redirect to Saeed. So make sure you go and show Saeed some love as well. I'm going live in 40 odd minutes for Sweden versus Albania. Yeah, come on.
Is it because of Gokaresh?
Well, no. Well, one of my pals is Albanian, and I just thought, like, out of all the games, like, I was going to do Bolivia. Bolivia versus Andorra at 10 o'clock tonight. I thought,
there's rumours that the Arsenal, fan base are really pushing for Gokaresh. A lot of people.
Yeah, nobody watches him, Kenny. Nobody watches Sport in Lisbon. Yeah, they're chatting bollocks. Nobody watches Sport in Lisbon.
I think you're gonna, if you go onto Twitter, you're gonna see a lot of highlights of Gokaresh.
We also see loads of highlights of Mudryk, and he's done fuck all. We see loads of highlights of Dusan Vlahovic. Nobody watches them either. Let's just be real.
But
No
if
one watches
not,
these leagues because do you know what's crazy is if they all watch these leagues, they then dub these leagues crap and farmers leagues. So why would they sit and watch them all? And then why would they want players from them leagues? They make no sense. They're full of crap.
Let's just hope that someone other than City wins the league will be the Farmers League that we're talking about.
Exactly. See, I'm debating on whether to do Bolivia versus Andorra at 9 o'clock UK time.
Bolivia, Andorra. Oh my word!
Oh yeah, man. Andorra's a neighbour of Spain, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I've got another thing on Wednesday. I want to try and get the 5K by the end of the week. I'm that far away, literally 40 odd subs away. So I want to try
Sub to Jez right now, Io di Mutante. Right now, Ilipoya. Get on it. See, my Spanish is getting there. But anyway, we are going to redirect to Saeed. I need to go to the shop real quick as well before this game kicks off. Big up to everyone who's locked in, liked, shared, commented, subscribed, donated, all of that good stuff. Make sure you sub to Jez, Arsenal History and More, pinned comment. Kenny Ken 1972, pinned comment. Leave reacts. I'll be there in 40 minutes. We're out. Laters.